Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Dig, starring Emile Hirsch as the bad guy. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. I'm a little punchy today, thanks to little Joan, little turd dog, kept me up all night. Right, Joan? Yeah, you were up all night. What the heck's up with you? Just getting up. And then in the morning, when I finally dragged myself out of bed, Joan was like, "Oh, I'm going to sleep." Anyhow, Dig also stars Thomas Jane as a guy who digs things. And Emile Hirsch goes to him because he's the only one with equipment in some Texas town. And he has a daughter that's hard of hearing. So they go to do the dig, and they're criminals. And he gets there, and people are tied up, including his daughter. I don't understand why you would do it this way. I don't understand why these guys wouldn't just rent the equipment if that was the issue. I guess that's explained in the movie, but so he has to dig things up while they hold Thomas Jane and his daughter hostage, and then they're constantly trying to get away. And then Emile Hirsch is constantly acting evil, and he has a girlfriend who's also mildly psychotic. And they get away a couple of times, but I think they get returned. So it's all about him trying to save his daughter, and Emile Hirsch almost killing her, and then Thomas Jane killing all of them in the end, I'm guessing. And Emile Hirsch. Possibly not in a lot of the movie, but I think he is. He seems to be the main bad guy. So, I don't know. They're going to kill him and leave him in the hole, I guess, and cover him up. But then, you're coming up all the... Oh, wait, I might be able to do this. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Directed by K. Asher Levine, or Levin. Written by Banapal Ablakad and Ben-Hur Abaka... Shut up! A blockade. The blockade. Hey, what is your problem? Trying to pronounce things, very tired thanks to you. Shut up. Okay. So, no, I'm like, you're not getting a pet after that outburst. You just sit right there. Think about what you've done. But not Banapal a blockade and Ben-Hur a blockade. So the Blockard, I'm going to guess brothers. Those sound like guy names. Ben-Hur, I mean, come on. And K. Asher Levin. So they wrote it, and K. Asher Levin directed it. Now there's 1 million executive producers. So let's count them, Joan. You ready? You ready to count the executive producers like we always do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, Thomas Jane. 10. I think that's all one name. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and that's it. The last two were the writers. So 19 executive producers. Not quite the record. The record is still 23, I believe. It looks okay if they can explain, why Emile Hirsch needs Thomas Jane to dig a hole. I mean, how hard could working a jackhammer be when you get right down to it? I get it. You might want an expert. But if you're worried that the expert's going to expose your drug ring or whatever the hell it is, then why would you bring him in? Or why wouldn't you just show up, break up the concrete, and then get the hell out of here? Like, that could work. So there better be something in this movie in that first act to explain why Thomas Jane and his daughter are being held hostage. Yes, Joan, I had some food, and some of it got on my shirt, probably. Man, you are a pain in the butt tonight. So the first act, Thomas Jane is a little desperate for money. They need an operation for his daughter so she can hear. And then he goes and he gets hired by Emile Hirsch. Seems a little odd, pays in cash. It's a little bit sketchy, but he's willing to do it because he needs the money. Gets there, and for some reason, Emile decides to take him hostage. Now, probably because he digs deep enough to see something or sees something. Um, Again, seems like if you were in the business of hiding your criminal activities, you'd be kind of good at it. But I might allow it. It depends on how they do it in the movie. So he's trapped. He's being held hostage, and he's forced to dig. So he's digging, and then they try to escape. His daughter's deaf. He explains that to him eventually, and they eventually get it. At some point, they escape and get caught. I think they escape twice and get caught. And Emile keeps threatening them. You don't want to have that happen too many times in your screenplay. Then it kind of takes the punch out of things, right? It's like, especially if Emile shoots another guy for, a lot of times in movies, you have these henchmen or whatever, the bad guy, and people will just have him shoot somebody just to show how evil he is. Screw you, blam, right? If you establish that early in the outset, and then later when people, the main characters give you trouble, you don't do that, that's a problem. It makes them sound inconsistent. They need very compelling reasons to keep people alive if you're that callous about killing people. So keep that in mind. And then in the third act, I assume Thomas Jane kills everybody, because he was the Punisher for a movie. They might reveal he's an ex-Marine or something, because he's got that kind of look about him. And he kills him. I don't know, puts him in the hole. Ironic. Or he does something. He uses digging abilities to trick Emile Hirsch. They're like in a mine, and he knows where all the structure points are. So he tricks Emile Hirsch and like knocks out a support, and it collapses on him. And Emile's like, "Oh, help me!" And he's like, "Screw you, buddy." So dig. Would I see it? Maybe. Now this says starring Emile Hirsch. They had and Emile Hirsch. It's really starring Thomas Jane. Emile Hirsch is the bad guy. You want your lead. Thomas Jane is the lead here, I think. It's a little confusing. Movie trailer source. I think you would say starring Thomas Jane. I mean, they're pretty much on the same level. I mean, Emile Hirsch maybe a little more famous. Thomas Jane was the Punisher. Emile Hirsch has been in a lot of movies. He was in at least one or two movies with Mel Gibson. And I still would put Thomas Jane and Emile Hirsch. I mean, why not put two names? You gotta promote this thing. But it looks well shot, looks well acted. So if that first act plot thing makes sense, yes. If it doesn't, I'm out. So would I see this? This would probably be a video on demand for me. Yeah, I don't know if I'd go to I mean, if all my friends were going, they said, "Oh, we gotta see Dig," I'd be like, all right. But that's unlikely to happen, so I'd probably see it on a streaming service. So, not bad though. I think it's a decent premise. I think I would like a little more intel on this trailer here. Emile acting like a scumbag. So, yeah. Dig. Check it out. When's this dropping? We have a date here. No date. It feels like it could have been a summer movie, but I think it's probably coming out in the fall sometime. And that's it for me, Tony D, and Crazy Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more based takes. You get very based in those takes, Joe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.